What's good, y'all? This your country cousin, Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac. Hey, man, get on up here, man. Kick your shoes off, pull you up one, and light you up one. You on the porch now. It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this. Yo, what's good, everybody? I am back. This is your country cousin, Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Petey Mac. Welcome back to the porch once again. Enjoying my second day of my 4-day weekend. It's the holiday, so I got the whole holiday off all the way up until Tuesday. Just getting caught up, listening to some good music, driving around, checking out the scenery, just vibing, trying to enjoy this last little bit of summer we got left for a couple of weeks. And speaking of new music, AJ Snow just released a new album a couple of days ago. It's called The Game Don't Deserve Me, and I'm gonna be honest, he might have a point, because I got it on the AJ Snow. One thing I'm gonna tell you I love about Spotify: if you listen to a certain type of artist, they'll also randomly mix in other artists that kind of have that same vibe. And of course, you know, it was one day I was listening to Larry June, Payroll Giovanni, G Perico, Jay Worthy, and they suggested AJ Snow to me, and I went and downloaded a lot of his stuff. Man, he got a lot of bangers. Like, he got one, it's actually called, like, Mama, if you listening, don't get mad, this name of the song is called Fucking With It, and I love the song because it's got like that mid to late 90s like chill vibe. It's like, it's the West Coast with like just a pinch, you know how like your grandma say put a pinch of salt in it. It's got like a pinch of like a East Coast chill vibe to it. And the video was like straight chilling in LA. So in his music video for Fucking With It, it was just him and his girl. They rolled up to Tommy's Original Burger. If y'all ever seen the movie Grandma's Boy, the place they went and got burgers, that's a real restaurant. There wasn't a restaurant made up for the movie, and they burgers are busting. They actually specialize in chili cheeseburgers. So it's good for the moment, but you gonna regret it in the morning. I swear, you're gonna be on the toilet making deals with God that you know you're not gonna keep. Then God help you if you were drinking before that, because you're gonna be in a double whammy. So you're gonna be, you know how you say, hey God, it's me again. You be like, look, dear Heavenly Father, I swear to God, if you just release these demons from my soul, you're gonna be like, kind of like how, if you ever read A Christmas Carol, how Ebenezer Scrooge was when he found out he was about to die. You'll swear, I'm gonna change forever. But anyway, like I was saying in the music video, he and his girl were at Tommy's, and they just chilling, eating burgers, real LA-ish, real nice, cool vibe, just like you and your woman. It was like no extravagant stuff. He didn't pull up in like a Bentley or Bugatti or Lambo. It was him pulling up in his regular car, getting some burgers, taking it back and eating on the hood of his car with his girl. Like, it didn't get no more vibish than that. That's when you know that somebody is a vibe for you, and they rock with you and only you. So I like this song, and I like his album. Like, it was, I give it 5 out of 5, man. Keep doing your thing, AJ Snow, if you ever listen to this. So yesterday, I actually started the weekend. I got on a Zoom call, something to help me out with what I'm doing. I got a lot of good information. I was, for those of y'all know, like I told y'all last year, I wrote a movie, and I'm really trying to see what I need to do to go to the next step with this movie. I mean, I don't think it's gonna like get picked up by the first person or, you know, take off right away. I just want to know what I need to do so I can be in the right position. So when it's time for me to like submit this movie to somebody, I can go ahead and get it out, and I get my vision seen the way I want. And it was a lady, I'm in a black screenwriters group on Facebook. She actually is a Navy vet. She just retired this past year. She sat down and she like talked to me on Zoom, gave me a lot of good insights on Hollywood and how and writing and all this, that, and the third. So it's a lot of steps I gotta take, but I appreciate that lady for sitting down and talking to me and writing. Talking to me about writing and getting my stuff out to who needs to get it out to, and how not to also get swindled. But a couple of that I kind of knew, like some of the stuff she was telling me, because you know, like I said, I've been doing comedy since 2010, and you know, if you in show business, music, filmmaking, comedy, you're gonna run into scammers and all that type of stuff, or people just trying to make money off of your talent, or just using a way in for representation and thing in order for them to manipulate you to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate her for doing that. And one person I talked to about this, and I actually talked to him on the phone for like a few hours last time we talked, and that's how passionate it was. He was asking me all kind of questions. He was asking me, like, he basically made me tell him elevator pitch and what was the motive of this and this, that, and the third, and we were going up. But that's my man Robert Cashmore, one of my comedian partners out of he's out of Dallas, Texas, but I met him up when I was stationed in Washington. Very talented brother and all that. Actually listened to my last podcast, and after he listened to me, he called me back. I thought he was heated with me because he said, I'm tired of you talking shit, bro. I'm like, what you talking about? So he heard me say something about the Cowboys. He said, you talking all this shit about the Cowboys, and you know that I'm Cowboys, I ain't gonna take nothing anymore. Then when he started breaking down, crying, fake crying, I said, oh, this nigga here, boy, he was trolling me the whole time, and he laughed and kiki and ha hell for about the next minute. But I'm not gonna lie, even though when I knew he was crying, faking, I'm like, okay, he's trolling me. But that was pretty good. So Cash, if you listen, which I know you are, you might want to look at the acting, bro, because you had me convinced to the moment like you started crying, and I'm like, all right, I ain't never, because one reason I knew he was faking, I ain't never known Buddy to cry. Buddy probably about one of the most thorough, like, men I know. So I was like, we started crying, I said, okay. I said, all right, an Academy Award goes too. But I'm going to give Cash a shout out, because him and another comedian that was real talented up there, a lady by the name Lynette Manning, they have a podcast they got called the Comedy Grub Podcast. They just shot their first episode day before yesterday. Looking forward to it coming out. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on that. You know, we don't hold stuff close to our chest. We spread love around. You know, I'm like Ace Boogie on Pay the Fool. Everybody eats, man. So shout out to him. Matter of fact, all my comedy family up there in the Pacific Northwest is doing their thing. My boy Bo Blast, who if y'all seen on Facebook, he got me into a lot of stuff. And I actually, when I had my old podcast, The Great Unknowns, with Pete McCorvey, that's me like hosting comedians. me interviewing comedians that I've met throughout my years doing comedy who like are funny. They get booked a lot, but just they haven't had a special, been on TV, been in movies and nothing. He was actually the first person that I interviewed for that. Matter of fact, The Great Unknowns is still on Spotify, so you can go back and listen to a couple of members. He was the first guy. He has Ha Tuesdays at Tacoma Comedy Club in surprise, Tacoma, Washington. And he's also got this collective of brothers that do comedy that's in the Pacific Northwest, mainly Washington State and Oregon. It's called the Comedy Hub, and it's got a lot of brothers on there that I used to do comedy with. Bo, like I said, Bo Blast, he heads it up. Like I said, my man Cash, he's a part of it. My dog from the South, from North Carolina, my boy Jay Will, man, that's like my big uncle. Me and him had many good talks about like comedy out there in the West Coast, life on the West Coast versus comedy in the South and life in the South. He's from North Carolina. My boy Scooter, they call him Scooter. I ain't gonna put his government name out there. I'm gonna put his government name. That's my man. He from Philly. Older cat who's in the army too. Cool dude. Another cat I met from Seattle named Jonte Osler. Actually, dude's a hell of an actor, man. Like I said to you on the episode before, he actually was Sterling in a production of August Wilson's 2 Trains Running, which was done in Seattle, like I think it was fall of 2023 or like early winter of 2023 or 2024. So yeah, them, couple of cats from Portland. G Wade, I had the privilege of performing with him on a Valentine's Day show in Portland, which let me know that Portland got them baddies out there. Don't just be looking at Portland because of all the fentanyl and the homeless out there. Hey, Portland got some beautiful black women out there, beautiful black people, period. Well, it makes sense. I mean, because Nike is right there, so we love us some Nikes. Another brother from out there, I haven't had the privilege of performing with him, but I'm hearing great things about him. He's a comedian named Dooley. Looking forward to whenever I come back up there to rock it with you, bro. If this ever hits your ears, and if there's any other comedians out there, I know I think a dude named LaRon is one of the best roasters I've ever seen. He'll just come in and just straight start going at you like you don't even got a chance to put your hands up. He got you against the rope, and he just hitting you with like all them combos, fuck 2 pieces and a biscuit. You getting the whole 8-piece, 4 biscuits, and 2 large sides. That man just he is blood in the water when it comes to roasting. He like a shark. He finna tear you up. So big ups to everybody up there. Looking forward to y'all doing great things. Looking forward to hopefully rocking with y'all again. Miss y'all and proud of all of y'all. Now we're gonna move on to sports. We're gonna talk about the college football season is back, and the Colorado Buffaloes, coached by your boy Coach Prime, formerly known as Deion Sanders. They had a season opener Thursday night against North Dakota State, and I don't really know how to feel about that because that was one kind of rough one to see. Now Shador went off, Travis Hunter went off, but they barely squeaked by North Dakota State 31-26. Now that's supposed to be your first tune-up game. Like if any one of y'all watched The Longest Yard, Adam Sandler explained it best. Like if you ever watch college football over the years and wonder why they play like a little HBCU or Division II school, like a Power 5 school to do that, that's to build confidence. So, and let them work out all the kinks in the books. Now, obviously, Colorado playing North Dakota State, because that's not they're not a Power 5 conference, they're not a football powerhouse at all. To be honest with you, I had never even heard of North Dakota State until this happened. For them to like just squeak by them by 5 points, it's looking like how it was looking last year. Colorado, y'all got to do better than that. Cause last year y'all had us up to like 2-3 in the morning watching y'all go blow for blow with Colorado State. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be up this year. Staying up 2-3 in the morning, I got work the next day, or church or whatnot, and y'all barely squeaking past North Dakota State, man. Y'all need y'all to get right up there and bowl to Coach Prime, cause that ain't it right there. I'm gonna move on to Bel-Air. Bel-Air just keeps getting better and better. The writing on this is superb. It's just for the culture, the style, it's just the music. It's just getting better, but for some reason, they instead of releasing 3 episodes like they normally doing, they just released 2. I'm wondering if maybe, I don't know if they're doing that because from what I'm seeing from the first 2-3 episode blocks they released in this 2 episode block, it seems like they're just releasing them by the number of episodes to complete a whole story like arc or a block, because like the first 3 episodes of the season had like a little story, not saying it wrapped up, but it was like, okay, this is this story that's right here. Then the second block, episode 4-6, had another little block, and it kind of did that, and these 2 episodes kind of have a little block as well. So I'm hoping, that's the only reason why I can see why you go from releasing 3 here, and now you just release 2. But still, beautifully shot, beautifully written. I'm enjoying, like I told y'all, I say all the time, I'm enjoying this show. Beautiful black people thriving, living good, and not in the streets. Can't be mad at it. They are on the money for this season. Now in episode 7 kind of, I think if all of us who watched it kind of made us raise our eyebrows a little bit, didn't it? Especially when Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv went to Mexico to go on a trip with a couple other couples that they know that are also married. That got a little spicy like this. Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil, they had them in there, boy. I ain't gonna say exactly what they do. I'm just gonna give y'all a hint. Mint Condition had a song they had out years ago. I'm just gonna say this: you send me swinging. I'm gonna leave y'all to your own devices on that one. It was. That one right there was just wild. I didn't know what to make of what they had, or they having Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil doing, but it was wild. And I love what they do with this show. They'll bring a lot of people on there who like we've seen in other things, but they not really household name, but you know them. Now the 2 people they brought on here, well, they brought 4 people, but I'm gonna name the first 2 people they brought. One of the married couples was David Ramsey and Nadine Ellis. Now, for those y'all know who David Ramsey is, you seen him in a lot of stuff back in the day. Tall, light-skinned brother. I remember he played Muhammad Ali in one movie in like late 90s, early 2000s where the late great Clarence Williams played his father. You know, he's shouting and being crazy. That is your name. You know how Clarence Williams III does. If you had UPN, you'll definitely remember him from this series called Good News, where he played the pastor of a church in Compton. It co-starred Guy Torrey as one of the young janitor of the church, and the young lady who played Dashiki. She was in there too. She played his girlfriend. I remember watching that. I thought that was like the weirdest couple they had on that show. Her and him, I just didn't see it. So, like I said, he also was in Pay It Forward. Like I said, you've seen a lot. And for Nadine Ellis, we've seen her a lot. That is one beautiful sister there. Woo! That beautiful dark skin she got, boy, it be glistening. You hear me? She most recently was on this show that Fox canceled after one season. Not surprised, because it was a Lee Daniels production. That man can't never wrap up a show great. I said it. Our Kind of People. She was on that, but for a lot of people don't know, she got her like claim to fame. She was one of the original Pussycat Dolls, not like the people who sung the "Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me, don't ya?" No, she wasn't one of them. So the Pussycat Girls, they were a burlesque trope, and like LA, she was one of the original women who was in that burlesque trope. And the other couple that they had on there was Melanie Hubbard. Most of y'all know her as Professor Milgram in Power Book 2, and Neil Brown. He was y'all know him as Chad on Insecure or DJ Yellow on Straight Outta Compton. They was the other couple. They was the ones who kind of, you know, got Will. I mean, not Will. Got Phil and Viv. You know, they got them singing them lyrics. Almost got them singing them lyrics like Stokely. You know, from Mid Condition. Yeah, they were good, but I didn't really recognize it was her at first because she was a little browner. Then I don't know if she they made her tan or she decided to tan up a little bit, because I was looking, I'm like, that looks like Professor Miracle, because you know how black people are. We gon' if you ain't somebody we really just know like that off the top of our head, we gon' give you a name of where you know you're from. I'm like, that like Professor Miracle. But once she started talking, because I heard her British accent slip through a lot. So that's why when I heard it slip through, I'm like, oh, that's her. And like I said, Neil Brown, of course, he gonna always be fun. That man, I don't know nothing he's in where he just is not acting a damn fool. So, yeah, big up to them. But what I really loved about that episode, y'all, I'm gonna tell you what I really loved about that episode. They had my alphas in there. My frats was in there. They had them. And then not only they just have them in there, they had them stroll the Down for My Niggas by C Murder. Woo! Boy, when I heard that, boy, I almost jumped up. Actually, I did jump up. And I started hopping around like I was back in college. And I sat down like 30 minutes later, because I'm 35 and not 21 no more. And woo, because, yeah, but my legs and my knees, yeah, they ain't. I don't even know how I did that at 21. I did like 10, 15 seconds of that hopping around. I'm like, good God, I used to do this like for 3-5 minutes straight when this song was on. Oh my God in heaven. And I actually found out from one of my frat brothers, close frat brothers online, that the guy who was in front of that stroll is our actual alpha, brother Vernon Jackson. Brother Jackson, you did your thing, man. 06 to the good bros. I really, really, really enjoyed episode 7. Now, not the biggest shock to it, because we've been seeing this since season 1, but Jeffrey really showed that he about that life for real. There was a scene in there where Jeffrey had to get gangster with it. He didn't really go all out like I would like to see. I guess they keeping that a mystery, but that adds to his mystique and gives him more of a allure of him being like a silent killer. But man, Hey, he showed up, man. He showed up and showed out in the scene he was in. I was like, damn, Jeffrey. Hey, Jeffrey is a sleeper, man. His character is a sleeper, and I love it. Now one thing they had in episode 7 that I didn't too much like, I want them to let Jackie just go. Jackie needs to leave them people alone. I'm not saying nothing to Jackie because I like Jackie's character, but they are trying to like paint Jackie like she's just a hanger on, a fifth wheel, and it's like this girl is not doing that. She's just trying to hang out with y'all and just be a friendly person. Jackie, baby, go where you celebrate. Y'all, the writers need to let her go where she celebrated because they do not really appreciate that girl in that little friend group of Will, Lisa, Amira, and Carlton. They don't really appreciate it. As a matter of fact, speaking of Amira, this girl is getting on my everlasting nerve. This is one little rude heifer here. She just, I hate when people, you know, their lives are in turmoil, yet they want to sit there and read you and try to give you advice on stuff. Like she's trying to give people advice and read them and psychoanalyze. First of all, I hate when somebody try to psychoanalyze me. That's a number one pet peeve. Like especially if a woman I'm talking to or dating or hanging around. Like I hated that with my exes. I hated that with their friends. I hated with like, you know, a couple of them. Especially when we looking at your life and it's like, man, you ain't got no room to try to be trying to tell somebody about their stuff. Like I had this one coworker, a little young, little ratchet, little young 20-something-year-old girl that I worked with when I was on the Theodore Roosevelt and I was working in the training department. Just thought she was this, that, and the third. Try to talk all this, that, and third. Wigs be all fucked up on her head. She thought she had friends all around the boat. Everybody was just talking about this girl like a dog. You know, she was just one of them girls who, I think they said her baby, she was a side piece of some dude that was married and had her baby. She trying to talk all this. So one day, I had got into it with my ex, and I was talking about my ex. We were still together at the time. She wasn't my ex yet. And she tried to be a little ratchet. Something happened. She tried to start a little argument. She said, "How you gonna do that? You need to be doing it in your life." I cut her down in front of us. Hold up, baby. I said, first of all, we know how you living and we know your life. I said, you don't have the right, nor do you have the intelligence or the experience to give me advice on a damn thing. I said, we see your life. We know how you live it. And I said, don't make me embarrass you. I said, now you trying to sit there and come for me. I said, don't come for me unless I send for you and tell you to pack your bags and I put them in the Uber myself. Don't you ever come and send for me. I said, because I'll embarrass you right in front of everybody. Because we all know how you living, and you living foul. And you ain't what you say you is. Trust me, I got that on good authority with a lot of people around this ship. I said, if I could tell you what I know, I said, you probably be ready to fight me. So I said, so it's best that you calm your ass down. She wants to do all of this, that, and the third, and it's like she got her demons, and I understand people fight demons, but it's like you can't throw stones in a glass house, and that's exactly what she's doing. She trying to tell Will about it. So now, number one thing, I don't like nobody coming to somebody's house and then trying to like be rude and tell them about this. And Will pretty much, I like how Will stood up. Will kind of like how I be with a female. Will kind of stood up and basically let her know. She like, I'll shut up. And Will was like, yes, please do that. And Will, honestly, I saw the acting, and shout out to Jabari Banks for some more phenomenal acting. Will kind of, the look Will had in his face was pretty much, if I was a woman, I'd slap the shit out you right now. And like I said, Jabari Banks conveyed that in his acting. Carlton, episode 7, he was going out like a chump. He's one of them dudes I can't stand. He's making excuses for all the disrespect Amira's doing. He just can't understand, like, bro, your woman is she's annoying, she's a problem, nobody like to be around her, she's bringing bullshit to this group we got. But he finally did wise up, did what he had to do in episode 8, and I'm proud of him, because I was like I said, after that last debacle he had, where he had the scholarship to Princeton and everything locked, and then he wants to be, I'm a junkie. He decided to do what he needed to do first, and then take care of a situation after. I'm so surprised he did that. I don't know what's going on with Ashley and her friend Eli. I don't trust it. I do like how Phil got them together. He had called Phil, and then Phil said, hey man, I appreciate Mr. Banks. I like, there you go. But he claimed that he supposed to be non-binary, but Ashley said something when her mom said he's not binary, said his pronouns are he and they. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought if you was not binary, it wasn't he or she, it was them, they, and theirs. So that threw me for a loop. And then I ain't gonna lie, Phil said one of the coldest lines after he had to check that dude for calling him out his name. He told Phil, he said, I thought she was liking girls. What's up? What happened to that? I died laughing, even though I knew it was supposed to be a serious moment. Ooh, that made me chuckle so bad. Oh man, I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't chuckle, but I had a full on laugh attack. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. They just, like I said before, they just trying to throw stuff to keep Ashley relevant, because I don't really understand it. And Hillary, her and LaMarcus, I'm gonna need for her to like put her foot down and baby fight for what's yours. But I'll tell you what you do need to fight for. You need to fight for telling LaMarcus don't he ever butcher a Jagged Edge song like the way he did in that one scene. I ain't gonna go into detail, y'all gonna see it, but I was like, Lord have mercy. Like, you know, Jesus ain't die for that. Jesus ain't die for that. Michael Jackson ain't die for that. Whitney Houston didn't die for that. They ain't die for you to be out here butchering people's songs now. So yeah, but I'll say this. I do like the way that Bel-Air is doing cameos with people, because unlike how like BMF do, they have cameos that these actors in there who ain't got a lick of acting experience. Ain't nobody forgot about Carisha from the City Girls and how horrible she was, and how we couldn't understand a damn thing little baby was saying, and then how you didn't let Sweetie get naked like we all thought she was gonna be. We still pissed about that 50. Yeah, they actually are using them good. Like I said in the first episode, they had Watts homie Quan in there. He didn't really have a line, but they was down there at a lowrider show. That's for the culture. And Watts homie Quan is of LA. He's from South Central. He for the culture. I like how they had him for the culture. Then they had a scene. They had a WWE superstar Bianca Bel-Air. She was on there. Like they had this little thing where the head of the entrepreneurship program that Carlton and Wheeler in, Young Black and Gifted, they had her in there. He had took him to the match because his character has a background as an MMA fighter, so he was trying to help like show them something by using MMA techniques. They had her there to like give him a hand with that. So I like how they use cameos there, actually putting people in places in the arena that best fit them. It's not just, we just gonna throw this person in here because they popping right now. They actually putting people who are skilled or got some experience in the realm of what scene they have them in. So I really, really like that. Now, also coming with some good TV is Netflix. Netflix is bringing heat. So looks like Netflix has an answer to ESPN's 30 for 30. They got this series called Untold, and they have had a lot of bangers. They had one about the early 2000s Florida Gators, when they had Percy Harvin, Tim Tebow, Chris Leaks, Aaron Hernandez. They had like about 4, 5, I think it was about 5, 6 episodes on those Florida Gators. They did a 2-part episode thing on Monty Teo. Y'all remember the guy from Notre Dame who lied about having that girlfriend that was online. Come find out he's been catfished by a guy who's now a transgender woman who went to high school with him and had a crush on him and stuff like that. They recently just released They had a bunch more other two. They had one on the NBA reference scandal. They had one on And One, the And One mixtape. Phenomenal, just And One period, not just a mixtape, but the clothing brand, the high gateway, the street ball, and the mixtapes. But they recently just released two of them. Now, one I thought was wonderful, well done, insightful. The other one, they left a lot of meat on the bone. Now, the one I thought was real insightful, because it just happened, football season of college 2023. That was about the Jim Harbaugh, Michigan sign stealing incident. It's called sign stealer. So it went into detail about the person that was on Michigan, Colin Stallions, who got found out that he was going to games and stealing other people's signs, and that gave them the upper hand in order for them to win the national title. Now, that was really insightful. It made a lot of sense. So the man, Colin Stallions, did not know that he grew up, wanted to always coach at Michigan. Didn't know that he went to the U.S. Naval Academy. Didn't know he was a Marine. He was a Marine officer. And he said he knew how to weigh to decipher everything. Now, everybody say stealing signs is wrong, but my thing is, I mean, not to say that old adage, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, but it's like, that's the name of the game, is getting the upper hand. Like, I mean, I guess it's cheating. I guess they call it cheating. But I'm trying to figure out if you can, like he said, decipher their signs. If you can decipher their signs, then that just means you got great deduction skills. I don't understand. Even when the Patriots did it, I was like, so they was able to figure them people's signs out. I don't see how that's cheating. But I mean, obviously, in the world of football, that is cheating. I mean, they went into a lot of detail. Like, I mean, this man had files and stuff of it. Like, this man was real strategical and methodical about how he did what he did. It was eye-opening because I didn't know half of that stuff. So that one was actually a pretty good one. Now, the other one they did, it made me mad for a few reasons. Because one, while I did not graduate from Alcorn State University, I attended for 2 years. And I'm a Mississippian. And I'm a black man who loves football. And that is the one that they did about Steve McNair. It was called Untold. It was Untold. It was the murder of Steve McNair. We didn't learn anything more about Steve McNair than we already did, or about that case. What they tried to do is they tried to cram Steve McNair and him being discovered, and they said obscured Alcorn State University to end up getting drafted by, at the time, they were the Houston Oilers. They're now the Tennessee Titans. And they started off backtracking from the murder. Then they would go to, okay, here we go, Steve McNair in college, now he's coming up there. And then they'll slowly start bringing it back to backtrack about the murder. They slowly start bringing us up to par with Steve McNair before he met that young lady that he met. And so it was like a math equation. You remember the math equation? It's like if you got a train coming from St. Louis on this track, and you got another one coming from Chicago going in the same direction, so where would they collide? It was like that. And the thing is, that's why I confuse mix. I don't like math, so I ain't trying to do that. Like, and then, like I said, they butchered a lot of information on there. The number one they butchered on there, well, they made it sound like when the Houston Oilers left Houston to go to Tennessee, they immediately became the Tennessee Titans. That is not what happened. They actually were the Tennessee Oilers for like 2 seasons. Then they became the Tennessee Titans. Like the 1999 football season when they became the Tennessee Titans. They didn't really, it was just, they crammed too much. Now, what they were trying to do, I saw what they were trying to do, but the documentary was on like 57, 58 minutes. What they were trying to do, they needed a whole 2 hours. Or they needed 1 hour dedicated to, I say start by talking about him growing up in high school, matriculating through Alcorn State, becoming getting in the race for the Heisman, throwing, for all those yards. I think he threw for like what? Over 5,000 yards. Yeah, talk about that. And what they should have done is one game they should have highlighted, talking about how bad of a boy he was. And that was a 1994 meeting between Alcorn State and Grambling, in which it was a offensive shootout, and Grambling actually got the best of them 63-56. Y'all go to YouTube and type that in. Type in Grambling versus Alcorn 1994. They going gun for gun. I almost made the defense look like they was non-existent. Like the defense shouldn't even been on the field for both of them. It's like, all right, whoever can complete the most passes and all that could be like, he put on a clinic, even though they still lost. That still was a very impressive game. It, like I said, they tried to cram too much in the 57 minutes, and it didn't do it. Hell, we got more from we got about just as much from that story in 57 minutes than that we got the same amount we got from, if you watch his Football Life on NFL Network, his Football Life episode, you got about the same amount of information. And hell, I'm gonna be honest, I think you got more information from his Football Life than you did from that Untold episode. It was just like it was like poorly executed. Like they could have fought for more time. But like I said, Untold, they giving ESPN 30 for 30 a run for their money. And I want to say this before I get out of here. ESPN, Untold on Netflix, HBO Sports, somebody out there, we need a documentary about John Thompson and his Georgetown Hoyas from the 80s up until when Iverson got there in the mid-90s. That man hasn't had really anything on him for real, and he changed the culture of college basketball. Like his Hoyas were to college basketball in the 80s what the U was to college football in the 80s. Somebody, if anybody listen to me, please do something and give us a documentary on him. Because like I said, he had a bunch of players he had go to league. Kembe Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, Iverson, list goes on. You know, he made like Georgetown, them guys you just didn't want to face. They'll beat you on defense and then they'll beat your ass on the court because they weren't going. And talk about the phenomenon of the Georgetown Hoya starter coach. There's so much stuff you can talk about with that. So whoever's listening to this, please try to give the late great John Thompson Jr. a 30 for 30 or Untold or HBO Sports documentary. I'm pretty sure Coach earned it. That's been my time on the porch this week. Follow me find me on Facebook. You know my name, you see it. Follow me on Instagram, PETYMAC10, PETYMAC10, or on TikTok, PETYMAC89, PETYMAC89. Until next week, y'all be cool, stay calm, and get paid. Peace.